It's going to be a busy day today, isn't it, with the old brainwashing? Initiating zombie sheep protocols. Welcome back to the show, ladies, gents and peaks. Yes, we're looking at tattoos of all kinds, good, bad and ugly. Why people get them and how to get rid of them. So to start with, I should say, I have nothing against tattoos, okay? Welcome back to the show, ladies, gents and Pikachus, part 2 of my Normies Against Woke series on general appearance. How does appearance affect how people feel about you? So we've done extreme hairstyles. I think it's time we tackled tattoos. So this obviously is not a tattoo, this is just drawn on with a pen. But I wanted to have a think about what I would have had if I had a tattoo. And actually I don't have any tattoos because I don't think any tattoos will look good on me. People get tattoos for all kinds of reasons, but the main thing about it is that it's permanent. So that suggests that it's a split on the second decision, and the person is unsure about whether they will stick with it in the future, but they're willful, they want to stick with it. So what they do is they get it permanently indelled on their body, so that they can never forget it, and neither can anybody else. And in particular, we're going to be looking at woke tattoos. So you're going to see a strong theme throughout of aliens, spirituality, but nothing to do with religion. That's the thing about woke, is they claim to be accepting and diverse, but when it comes down to it, they have a very strict, universalized system of beliefs, which actually, it pushes out all others. So you're not allowed to have a religion or a particular politic which is different to this. And that's why they use very similar imagery and colouring, and actually the fonts they use are very, very standardised. Now it must be said that I personally have no problem with tattoos. I don't really judge people that harshly, even if they have ridiculous tattoos. Like I used to know a guy when I was young and worked in the job centre, and his entire face and neck were covered in all different tattoos, and he had all kinds of piercings. He looked terrifying to most people, kind of like this chap here. But his life story was tragic. He was a shy, terrified dude, and that's what drove him to get those tattoos. He was trying to instill fear in other people because he was himself afraid. That's another theme you'll find. A lot of people that have tattoos, they have a fearful lifestyle, or they have something, a big thing in their life, a big event or a task that they're doing, which is fearful to them, and they want to express that. They want to express the fact that fear is something they have to deal with and they can't do anything about, by indelling on their body a symbol of courage. But that's not the only place you find them. Like my grandma used to say to me, tattoos are for prostitutes and sailors. And that used to be true, but it isn't anymore. But it stands to reason. Prostitutes do get tattoos. Human traffic prostitution slaves have barcodes, or they have symbols, or all kinds of things printed on their body, so that when they are offering their product, people know that they can be trusted in that way to not say anything. Obviously, discretion is the name of the game in those circles. I personally find it extremely weird, when you consider all that people actually have these tattoos willingly, like they voluntarily put these things on their body. I was engaged once. I had a girlfriend, Nikki, and she actually got a barcode on the back of her neck with my initials on it. I went absolutely nuts. I was literally seconds away from splitting up with her. And then I had to go and find out why she had done that, to try and understand it. And what had happened is she had cheated on me, and that's what drove her to get the tattoo of my name. How did I find this out? Well, I went to the tattoo parlour, and they have a sign-on saying, never get this tattoo, because this is why. Now, obviously, this was some time ago, so Nikki has been forgiven. I no longer care. But you can bet your bottom dollar, even though I don't know what happened to her, where she is now, you can bet your bottom dollar that that tattoo is no longer there. It will have been covered up with another tattoo. So her quote-unquote fixed tattoo is probably going to look something like this one here. It's just a black block permanently covering the previous one. I shouldn't laugh because it's a terrible tragedy to have a beautiful body and have that done to it. But it stands to reason the original tattoo was ill-advised, even though she wanted it to be permanent. I knew it was. But then to cover it up, she needs to do another permanent one. So it's like the first one is the artifact of a permanent mistake she made, and then the black block over the top of it is another sign of a second permanent mistake that she's made. And I'm sure in future there'll be some kind of laser removal technology that she can use to get rid of it, and it will cost a lot of money. But as things stand, it's just a complete regretful thing from start to finish. So that's a bad tattoo. What about some good tattoos? For me, a good tattoo is one that you don't care about how it looks particularly, but it's the emotion, the reason, the practicality behind you getting it. So perhaps you're celebrating or you're commemorating someone that you deeply, deeply cared about or loved who is no longer here. So if you have dead parents and you've got a tattoo of them, or just someone that you know you're never going to see again maybe, that is a good tattoo in my eyes, no matter how it looks. Who remembers Lawrence Fox? A few weeks ago was let go from his job after saying some rather nasty things about some feminists. But he has another practical tattoo because he lives in the middle of people that want to destroy him and take away his space and his freedom. He has a practical, defiant, rebellious tattoo. So once again, it's not about how it looks, but it's just perfect for the job. As we've seen, the theme of all these tattoos is the same throughout. Emotional damage is what causes tattoos. Something horrible happened, and you're either trying to express how you feel about that horrible thing, or you're trying to cover it up, like Nikki, my ex, was. But what's the effect that's going to have on you when you meet someone with a tattoo? Well, if it's something obvious on the face, on the arm, or if they're showing it off proudly, and it isn't brand new, they're trying to communicate something to you which they would rather not have to say. And finally, in some extreme and unusual cases, the tattoo that you're going to get is in preparation for your freedom and your space being taken away from you. So perhaps you're not going to be able to have those conversations in future, or you're fearful that those conversations will be illegal or in some way bad. And so you indelibly print those on your body so that you don't have to have the conversation. You're saying it regardless. So, contrary to popular belief, and I think I've learnt this today while doing my research for this video, the main thing about a tattoo that you can tell about someone who has a tattoo is that is a communicative person. Even if they don't say anything, even if they don't reveal anything else, the fact that they have gone to the expense and effort and the pain of printing something permanently on their body, that's telling you that they need to tell you that thing. They need to express that. It's something that is core to their personality. I feel like the reason I'm making that sound is to get your attention. I feel like this is a vitally important part of this whole series, really. The woke hair is not permanent. It kind of is in a way because you've coloured your hair, but there's nothing stopping you chopping it all off and starting from scratch. Whereas with a tattoo, you're never getting rid of it. Even if you put something over the top of it, as we've seen, the evidence of it being there remains. So you will never ever get rid of a tattoo until they release this amazing removal technology that we don't have yet. In addition to this, there's lots of other things you will be able to tell. Now, I know, with the benefit of experience, if I see a barcode tattoo like this on the back of a woman's neck, pretty much she is going to be a whore. And this isn't going to be an unpopular opinion, but I think once you're a whore, you're always a whore. You will never go back. Once a bad girl, always a bad girl. It still irks me though, just from what my grandmother said to me when I was young, that tattoos are only for sailors and for prostitutes. It always bugged me. I think that's one of the things that put me off getting a tattoo. And as I've grown older, I've now started to look at them and think, well, they're not that great anyway, apart from the occasional one. But it stands to reason that I don't have any tattoos. I am a tattoo peasant. So if you have anything to add, or you think I got this wrong, please hit me up in the comments. Let me know why you have your tattoo and why you think my views are wrong, because I'm open-minded. I want to learn. But yeah, in conclusion, the end of this video is this: if you see tattoos on a person, it's not like the hair. It's not like a short-term thing that they're trying to communicate to you. It's nothing to do with politics, is what I'm saying. You know, hair and clothing is you're trying to express something now to people today, and at the end of the day, presumably, you can take it all off. But you cannot take off a tattoo. So whatever the tattoo is trying to tell you, whether it's good or bad, it's something that is going to be relevant to that person's life forever. And so for someone like me, if I see a tattoo of something which I definitely am never going to like on a person that's permanent, it's going to put me off that person. Whereas if I had a tattoo of Superman on my arm, I go to a fan comic event or something like that, it's going to be really popular because everybody there is going to see it, and the people that like Superman are going to approach me. So it's a communication tool, that's the conclusion. Don't be too harsh judging people by their tattoos. It's the complete opposite of what I thought I was going to end up saying. But it stands to reason. If someone's going to go to the trouble of permanently painting something on their body, it means a lot to them, and it's going to be there forever. So it is actually indicative of their inner feelings towards themselves and the world. So that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I say, I'm a tattoo peasant, so if you've got any more details or information to drop upon me, please do so in the comments. And I'll see you in the next one. So I hope you enjoyed that. Have a good day, and I'll see you soon. Bye now. That's so odd. See, it's worth doing your own thinking, your own research. This is the complete opposite of what I thought I was going to say. So in relation to woke, if you see a woke tattoo, just know that person will 100% regret that later in life. So be nice to them and each other, and I'll see you soon. Bye now.